Hello, the story I have to read you today is called We Keep a Store. It's by Shelby and the paintings are by John Ward. We keep a store. It sits right in our front yard, so whenever we need anything, all we have to do is walk across the yard to the store and get it. Look, there's the house, and there's the store. Do they live in a big city? See all the trees? Sometimes in places that are far away from cities, people will have little small stores like this. We don't even have to pay ourselves for it. That's one good thing about keeping a store. So whenever they want something, they can just go get it from their store. In a corner behind the counter, there's a cardboard box. When a customer wants candy, my mother scoops the scoop into the box and comes up with gumdrops, lemon drops, and creams. Look, they sell candy in their store. She slides the candy into a paper sack and weighs it on the big white scale. Sometimes she has to take a little out or put a few more pieces in. The scale, she's weighing how much candy she puts in the bag. When she isn't looking, I can eat a piece of candy right out of the box. That's another good thing about keeping a store. She's sneaking. Do you think her mom is noticing? My mother figures out what to order from the big grocery company. So what they do is they order things from a really big store who brings it to them so they can sell it. And when the truck comes, my father slits the boxes open with his knife. I help stack cans on shelves. Look at that. We all wait on customers and put money in the cash register and count out change. There's the cash register. This is an old one. They look different now. We all work together. That's another good thing about keeping a store. We all help. But our customers don't come just to buy things. They come to visit too. In winter, the men circle their chairs around the stove and tell long stories about the old days when wolves and bears and foxes roamed the country. So they don't just come to buy things, they come to visit. They're telling stories about the olden days. Have you ever heard stories about that? Sometimes they tease me. You want to get married, they say. Leroy here would make you a good husband. And Leroy stares at his shoes, and my face turns red hot like the coals in that stove. Uh-oh. Sometimes grown-ups like to kind of tease kids a little bit, but she's too little to get married. And so is he. And maybe they don't even like each other. But they're just kind of joking because they're the only kids around. In summer, they move their chairs outside and whittle till curls of cedar shavings pile up around their shoes. Whittling is when you take wood. See how they all have a piece of wood? And you take a knife and you can make little small cuts and you can make all kinds of things. You might make like a decoration, a little statue, or you could make like handles for things, or you might make parts of a chair. You can do all kinds of things. You have to be very careful though because the knife is sharp. The women sit with my mother under the apple trees in the yard. They help her string green beans to can or cut apples up to dry. Look, they have apples, but they have so many apples they can't eat them all, so they save some. They dry them out so they don't get yucky, and they save them for later. Their children play with me in the field beside the store. We play kick the can, or hide and go seek, or something we just make up, like chase that chicken, or see who's the first to fall in the creek. They're playing games. Do you think the chicken likes the game Chase the Chicken? Finally, toward dark, a grown-up hollers for the children to come on. It's time to go home. They spend the whole day together. Have you ever done that? Just spend the whole day playing outside? You all come back, my father tells them, and they answer, we'll be back. Look at that. Can you see any other houses or buildings? No, so you can tell that everyone lives very far away from each other, so they visit for a long time. They mean it too. That's the best thing about keeping a store. There she is. We keep a store. I like that story because it tells about different kinds of stores. When I go to a store, usually it's in a city and it's a big store and there's lots of things and people around, and people don't sit around and visit. I would like to go to a store where people do that. I hope you liked this story. I'll read to you later.